Hey, this is Rosa Rubio Giotto, RCG Creations. How are you? I'm bringing to you today a card, and I returned it, of course, you know me, happy birthday, into a birthday card. And this is for a swap that I'm in, and that's the inside of the card. And we're going to almost duplicate it, almost exactly, but not exact. So when I'm done here, I went ahead and you know me, I did my 8.5 by 11 cardstock, cut it in half, and you get to make 2 cards. Where did I put my bone folder? I put it away. So you just cut it in half, then you fold it. And then I like to use my bone folder to score it so it's a nice crisp edge. And you can either make a card like this one, this way, or you can turn it this way. It's totally up to you, however you want to make it. But in this little swap that I'm in, we have to do it this way. Okay, so what I've done, and I went ahead and let me give you the measurements. This is 8.5 by 11 cut in half. And you're going to cut 2 strips. One's on the bottom, and the one that goes this way. Just let me show you the card right there. Well, you know what? I had to move my camera. I had to rearrange my desk. I just want to make sure everything's in focus. Yep, it is. Good. I just want to make sure because it's like I had to switch things over. Anyway. Okay, so this one is 5.5 by 1.5. And then the other one is 3 3/4 by 1.5. This one is 4 3/4 by 1 1/4, and then the other one is 3.5 by 1 1/4. And of course, I will put the measurements in the description box. Okay, but it's a very, very easy card, and it's an A2. I think it's an A2, 4.5 by 5.5 base card. Okay, so what we're going to do is first, you're going to get adhesive. And this should become this is going to be a quick card. And I like to use wet glue. I like to work off on my craft mat. So in case I slip or something happens, I don't get it on my cardstock. But this is the art glitter glue, so it dries clear. So you don't have to mess with that. Okay, and then now I'm going to add and I'm showing you 2 different ones. This one, the first one that I made, I started off with a white background and then a floral card front. And I used the Signature Collection by Sarah Davies, Crafter's Companion. I'm still working on using up this entire 6x6 pad. I've got like maybe 18 or 20 different of these pads, and I have got to use them up before I can get any more. I'm running out of room. So I'm going to use up my stash before I buy anything more. And there's been some new stuff that's been coming out, and it's like, oh man, but nope. I'm going to use what I have before I buy any more. That was pretty, but we're going to have to cover up the little rows. But you know what? That's just part of a card kit. It's a paper pad. And if you use it, you use it. If it shows, it doesn't. So you can use double adhesive. Because this is cardstock, I just like working with wet glue because it goes a lot faster. I'm going to line this up just a little bit right there. And then I'm using the rest of my little flowers because I want to hurry up and get rid of these. I carry my stash and all my stuff. Like I put in little baskets. I have I think they're like 4. No, they're probably 3 by 5, 3 by 6. They're little tiny baskets, but because I have wrist issues, I can't make things very heavy because I have to be able to store it and bring it back to my craft table. So I have a bunch of those, and I store my stamps and my dies and my embellishments, and it's all done by theme, like animals, mom, dad, male, female, flowers, because you always use tons of flowers. And then stuff like, it's all done in alpha, but it's all stored in alpha order. And I've got a label on each one, so that's way I know where it is, where to put it back. And then anything that's too big, that doesn't fit in a pocket protector, I put it in a legal size hanging folders, and I have 3 bins that they stand upright, and they're each labeled. And the same thing, A through Z. And then on my smaller ones, I have on here, whenever they have excess on the other one, I put on there C 12 by 12 bins. So that way I'll know, hey, I know I have this, but where is it? Because some of these are in a kit, some come in a set, and some are just individual. And I don't like to break my sets up, because after a while I get tired of using it, or say it's something I just have never used. I'll end up giving it away at the crops that I host. I host a crop once a month, and I just give them away as door prizes. I like to give everybody a door prize. And so I just give them away, or sometimes, I will sell them, especially if we're going to be, if I'm involved in a huge craft sale, I'll turn around and sell it. Sometimes I'll sell it in the marketplace. I don't like to do that too much, but 90% of the time what I have, I use and I keep. So I don't buy when I something that I know I'm not going to use. So these are little embellishments. They're almost done. I just want to use them up. But let me see. I'm trying to see if I can have 2 different colors. Oh, you're good. They do. I do have one. So I'm going to... I think I'm going to want to work in 3s. So let me do my other... I'm going to do this big one. So let's set this up like that. See, this is shimmery, this one's shimmery, and this one's not, so I'm offsetting it all. And that'll work. And it gives it a little color. And I'm going to put glue on the little petals, because I do want them to lay flat. Because this is going to go in the postal mail, I want it to make sure that it fits my envelope. And typically I make my own cards, but I have just been so busy. This pandemic has really made us busy at work. So I'm like, I have no downtime, so I'm exhausted when I get home. And then on the weekends, we're just busy. Life, it's just life. We're doing things we got to get done, Pandemic or no pandemic, certain things just have to get done. And that's just the way it is. There. Now I'm going to put my little message. I'm going to say happy birthday, but I went ahead and cut out because I am using the Spellbinders. Sentiments 3, and it comes with the words happy birthday and with love, and that's what the dies look like. And that's the front of the die, so both of these come together. So if you want to order, let's see, what's the item number on here? There's no item number. So it's just look for Sentiments 3. And you get both of these dies, and they're from Spellbinder. Oh, there's something right there on the top. Let's see that. There it is. S2-139 is the item number. But you can get on the Spellbinders website, and you should be able to order. I think it's still up for sale, but I'm not really for sure. But I think it is. Okay, since I'm doing this shade of pink, I don't want to offset this too much. I cut some of these out in whites and different shades of pink, and I want it to stand out a little bit. Now on these really thin, flimsy dies, you can layer them 2, 3, 4, 5, and then make them thicker, but I don't want to do that in this particular case, so I'm just going to put some glue down on my table. It's actually on my craft mat, and I'm just going to, because it's so minor, I'm not too worried about it getting my fingers dirty, because with this art glitter glue, all you have to do is rub it. Now you can always use your spray adhesive. I just haven't really found one. I was using really the beacon glue, but it doesn't really work well on really thin stuff like this. It gets caught in between. So I'm just going to go back to the old-fashioned way of just putting some on my mat and then using my finger. And because this is really thin, actually you hold it because it can rip on you if you're not careful. But because it's going to dry clear, I'm not too worried about if it gets on anything or if it gets on the other side, because it's going to dry clear. Okay, so now, and this is when you have to really be careful because it is pretty flimsy. So I'm going to line it up, make sure it's straight. And then I'm going to let that dry by itself. And then on my finger, all I do is just rub it. And then I toss it in the trash. And there. And you don't really you could put something heavy on here, but it really just takes a little bit of pressing. Now for the little dot of the birthday, I'm just going to squeeze a little glue. And because these things are so tiny, when you take them off your die machine or cutting machine, whatever you're used to cut them with, I have a Gemini that I'm using, or the Cuttlebug, or the Grand. I have a Grand Caliber, which is like the Cuttlebug but bigger. Make sure you save all the little pieces because the little dots are almost impossible to find. And you have to really pay attention. Where are they? And then I'm going to use my tweezers, and I'm just going to move this over. And you do have, because it's wet glue, you do have a little wiggle room and a little time. So, there, I'm just going to press on that. And that's the front of the card. Now on the inside, so it says happy birthday. And on the inside, I'm going to do the same pink as I did on that one. Because I'm going to go ahead and show you. I ended up doing this pink, and I did a white one, and happy birthday. And then in the love, I did this dark pink, the lighter pink, and another lighter pink. Because I'm going to go ahead and produce more of the exact same card, but I'm going to do it with a little twist. And because they're going to go to this club that I give cards to every month. So, same thing like I did before. Just tap on the glue. You need to work a little fast. But you know, this is so flimsy and little. This is not going to take much time at all. And because if it's a good quality glue, try not to use an inexpensive glue. This is the one time you really want to use good quality glue. But make sure you're comfortable with what it is that you're using. And then I'm going to line this up. Basically, I'm going to eyeball this. I'm going to holding it with one hand so it's moving, but I don't want to move too much. And then just pat it down with the other fingers that are not all sticky. We got 5 fingers on each hand. You can use another finger. Okay, that'll hold it. Take off that little excess. Put my little dot for my eye on width. Okay, let me get my dark pink little dot. My little dot of glue is a little too much, but it'll work. And you kind of want to space it. You want to space it out. Okay, let me get my tweezers. It's too small. Okay, come on. Oops. I want to turn this way. There. Okay. Sometimes you got to use all your fingers. But there we go. So there's the happy birthday message. There's my two embellishments. There's my little flowers for some color, and I like the fact that it's green, so it offsets it all a little bit. And I just used the blue cardstock. I don't know. I don't know where I got this cardstock from. I buy wherever it's on sale, and my stash is pretty big, so I'm just trying to use up as much of that as I can. And then that'll hold tight, and that's it. And that completes these two projects. So there they are. There's a front. And you see how all I did, this is from another stamp set that I had used. I actually have a video on it. I forget which one I used it on. But anyway, I had cut, I stamped one extra too many, so I went ahead and just saved it, you know. So that's what I'm saying, like with these green ones, I had these extra. I had already from somewhere else. So, and there was all I had left was fit in this little bag, you know. So don't throw just little things like that away, because you can use them again, because you never know. I mean, I just used this, I think it was like, maybe it was less than 6 months ago that I used it. So one of my other videos. And that's another way to use whatever you have in your stash. But there's the two cards. I thank you so much for watching. We take care and you have a wonderful day. Goodbye. We'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to hit like, share, and comment. And don't forget to hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And I thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.